I always look at myself. Do y'all notice that I do that? It's because I'm looking at myself. I'm sorry, I admit it, okay? Just don't hate me. Hey guys, I want to start uploading more consistent because obviously I suck at that. I'm really trying, I promise. I just don't have a lot of free time. Literally every time I'm ready to take a video, he just decides that he needs to be a mean baby. I'm gonna aim for like every Sunday or so. I don't know, maybe not. You never know with me because I'm just a crazy woman. That was so weird. I might cut that out. Probably not. Why do I do that every time? I don't know, but well, I've gotten the question of how I found out I was pregnant and how I told my family and what their reaction was a lot of times, so I am finally gonna answer that for you. I started taking birth control like a year before I got pregnant, but obviously I'm very bad at taking that. I was really inconsistent with taking that. I took it at like a different time every day, and sometimes I forgot to take it, so I would just take 2 the next day, so it's not gonna work like that, obviously. I don't know why I thought it was like working somehow, but anyways. From the birth control and me taking it all weird, different days and stuff, my period was always weird. So I never really knew that I missed a period. I started getting what I know now was morning sickness, but then I just thought I was coming down with the flu or something. Getting pregnant did not even cross my mind because that doesn't actually happen to anyone. What? If you're having unprotected sex, you can't get pregnant, can you? Obviously you can, so quit doing it, people. So one morning, I woke up and I threw up right away. I didn't really think anything of it. I just thought I had like the flu or something because I hadn't really been paying attention to my period or anything because it was already weird. So my parents tried to make me go to school and I ended up throwing up all over myself. I was like, oh my gosh, I am coming down with the flu. This freaking sucks, but I'll get over it. And that whole day, I just kept throwing up and kept throwing up and kept throwing up. It was just a different sickness from any other sick I'd felt. And then I noticed that I hadn't had my period for a really long time. But I connected all the dots and I was like, oh my gosh, if I'm freaking pregnant, this is literally going to be the end of my life. I had a cheer scholarship to college, and I had so many plans ahead of me. I was not planning for a baby. I'm not gonna have a freaking baby right now. So I told Noah, I was like, I really think we need to go take a pregnancy test. He's like, no, whatever, you're not freaking pregnant, it's fine. When it's you don't think you're gonna get pregnant. Me and Noah, we're not allowed to see each other for a very, very long time. But this was the first day that we were allowed to see each other again, so he came over. Neither of us had cars at the time. I think I was grounded from mine. I'm not really sure where his was, but probably broken. It's always broken. We ended up walking to the Walgreens that was right by my house, and I just had the worst feeling the whole entire time. Noah kept telling me, no, you're not pregnant, you're not pregnant, you're not pregnant, but I was like, I really have a feeling that I am. My parents were home downstairs, so me and Noah went upstairs. He was in the game room, and I went and took the test in my bathroom. And the 2 lines immediately showed up the minute I peed on it. Usually it takes a couple seconds to show up at least, and it's usually faint, but it was like right as I peed on it, it was boom! You're freaking pregnant. Honestly, I walked in with the stick to Noah, and I was like, yep, I told you so. And he was like, you're joking. I was like, no. He was just acting really chill about it, and it kind of freaked me out because I was like, dude, I'm freaking pregnant. I think he was just trying to be strong for me, and it actually really helped because I just ended up breaking down and just cried and cried and cried, and I had to be so quiet because my parents were downstairs and they had no clue. So I just found out like what was the worst news to me at that time. I thought my life was over. After Noah left, I had to act like nothing was wrong, and that was literally the hardest thing I've ever had to do. In the days continuing that, I just kept puking and I kept puking and I kept puking. Every 5 minutes, I would drink water, I'd throw up, I would have a freaking cracker and I'd throw up. My mom just kept asking me, she was like, do you have something to tell me? And like, I was like, no, 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 like, denying it to her over and over again, thinking it was gonna go away or something. Like, I was gonna have to tell her eventually. And so I was just sickly on my deathbed. It was the worst couple days of my life. So I eventually started puking up blood, and that is when my parents were like, Emma, something is wrong, you need to tell us, we're not gonna be mad at you, just please tell us the truth. I don't even know why I'm crying, but I just broke down and I was like, please don't hate me, please don't hate me. And they were like, oh, I'm so freaking gay for this, but don't show weakness, Emma. Why the crap? I'm so emotional. But my grandparents live next door to me, so I just told all of them at once. And I just started crying. I was like, my life is over. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Just please don't hate me. Please don't be disappointed in me. Because that's the thing I worried about the most, was I felt like my parents had been disappointed in me for most of my high school career, because I had just messed up a lot. Like, every year I made one huge mistake. This was probably the hugest mistake I could ever make, you know? But they just hugged me and they were like, it's okay, we're gonna get through this together. It's gonna be really hard, but we're gonna be there for you through it. So I got that out of the way, and like a huge weight was just lifted off my shoulders. Even though it did not get easy from there or anything, it got a lot harder for a while. Our relationship didn't necessarily get stronger in the beginning, but it eventually did. Once they got used to the idea, I think their biggest disappointment was just all the dreams they had for me, and the dreams I had for myself that I wasn't gonna be able to do anymore, like going to college and being on the cheer team, because I had worked really hard for that. But right after they found out and everything, they took me straight to the hospital because obviously I was still puking up blood. They told me I was severely dehydrated, but I stayed at the hospital for a couple days and I just got a bunch of fluids and stuff. This was all at the same time that I was still supposed to be in school. It was my senior year and I still had 4 months left. So me thinking of going back to school right now was just literally the last thing I wanted to do. There was a rumor going around me by the end of the school year already, so even though I didn't even tell anyone, obviously you know why I didn't tell anyone now. It actually ended up being one of my best friends at the time that ended up spreading it around to everyone, which is really confusing because I don't think best friends are supposed to do that, so, but it's no big deal.
Night is cold, but your heart's colder.